elections are concerned, both presidential and parliamentary, and the results. My name is Henry Yabua Yadomboache, sitting member of parliament for Techiman South. And my esteemed right, we have our parliamentary candidate, Honorable Martin Ademinsa Kosa. He is the MP elect now. And then we have our former MC, Honorable Prince Yao Dunyina. He's the former MC and Yao Dunyina. Honorable Prince Yao Dunyina.
Donyina.
Yes. And then our current MC, Honorable John Kofi Dunyina. So the four of us are here, and Honorable Prince Yao Dunyina will present the issues to you so that you will be able to take it up for us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on his re-election as the President of the Republic of Ghana. And I also want to congratulate my MP-elect, Honorable Martin Ademinsa Kosa. I hope they're going to serve Ghana better. The NDC on Thursday, 10th December, held a press conference to declare their parliamentary candidate, Christopher Bayere, as the MP-elect for Techiman South constituency, contrary to the declaration made by the returning officer of the Electoral Commission for Techiman South constituency. The conduct of the NDC General Secretary was not only undemocratic, but sought to arrogate to himself the powers of the EC and also to create panic among the populace. This was very unfortunate and ought to be condemned by all well-meaning Ghanaians. The NDC in the said press conference made a number of allegations that are probably false, and we will take this opportunity to respond to some of these and set the record straight. In their press conference, they said that there was huge security presence at the collation center to intimidate their supporters. They also claimed that there was no collation of results at all. They also claimed that there was no declaration by the returning officer of the Electoral Commission. And they also said that we used military personnel to force to overturn the results. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll first talk about the presence of security personnel at the collation center. The collation center was used as both the constituency collation center and the regional, that's Bono East Regional Collation Center, even though the two programs were held in different rooms at the center, which is the Bronx Champion Hall of Techiman. The security presence was in line with the general rule of providing security for officers of the Electoral Commission and other electoral officers. And especially when you have NDC people around, it's only prudent that you have security men, because you know wherever they are, there's bound to be violence. There was a radio station in Techiman owned by one of the NDC members called Akina FM. They had announced that they had won the election and the Electoral Commission was trying to connive with the NPP to turn the results. Therefore, they had invited all their members to mass up to the collation center. And you can imagine, with such number of people converging there, without the security men, there was going to be a problem. That is why there were security men at the collation center. They were not there to intimidate anybody. It was because of the actions of the NDC, their chairman, their communicators, and the station that got a lot of people there. So there was the need for police as usual, to protect the electoral officers. They also claim that there was no collation of results. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another untruth. How could a declaration be made? How could a declaration be made if collation was not done? That is an unacceptable electoral practice and could not have happened. At the close of polls, all of us converged at Bunun Champion Hall, where the collation was taking place. We had projectors in the hall, and we have TVs outside for the general public to view whatever was going on at the collation center. At a point in the process, one of the NDC agents called Jau Pipra asked the Electoral Commission to stop because they do not have all their pink sheets available. So, ladies and gentlemen, how could the NDC claim that there was no collation at all? After the EC, together with the parties, had collated about 257 polling stations, including the special voting, they displayed the collated results on the screen, both inside the room and outside of the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, our NPP candidate, Honorable Techiman South, was leading with 48,268 votes as against that of the NDC candidate who had 47,974. The EC approached both parties that if we could help them with some of their pink sheets, with some pink sheets, because they had not received all their pink sheets. They asked for these pink sheets, and I wish you can take them. There were about 10 pink sheets that were missing. Indeed, they were not missing. The EC claimed that they were expecting them from their agents, their returning officers. Number one, presiding officer, yeah. KO101048, that's Techiman Senior High A. Number two, KO10209B, Fountain JHS Techiman 1. KO10406, PPAG, Office Techiman 2. KO10701, Good Shepherd Day Care Center, Jumo. KO11304A, DAJHS Kenten. KO11305B, DHJHS Kenten 2. KO11504, R Career Upper Atomic Road, Techiman. KO12301B, DAJHS Ahansa. KO12404, CMB Shed, Tanoso Wa. And KO13001B, DAHS School Agosa. Ladies and gentlemen, the NDC again, under very strange circumstances, told the EC that they do not have these pink sheets for the reconciliation. So after a long wait, and again under some strange circumstances, the NDC, led by the election officer, Mr. Bin Laden, a very interesting name, isn't it? Now said they have the pink sheets. It will interest you to know that it was the same man who addressed the press conference and peddled a number of inaccurate stories about the happenings at the collation center. 8 of the above mentioned pink sheets were reconciled and peacefully remaining only the Air Career and our Upper Atomic Road, Techiman, which we later added the other one. Unfortunately, when it got to that of Hensa, the NDC insisted that they will not allow the Electoral Commission to add the Hensa one, simply because the EC did not have the pink sheet. The NDC claimed they didn't have it. The EC didn't have that pink sheet because when the returning officer was bringing his the presiding, sorry, I'm using the when the presiding officer was bringing his box to the collation center, he was attacked by the NDC and they scattered all the items that he was bringing. So the EC didn't have the pink sheet, but we gave them our pink sheet, which had been signed by both parties, and the EC verified it and said that it was authentic. But the NDC insisted that they were not going to allow the EC to add that pink sheet. After long deliberation, that pink sheet was added. And when that happened, they projected South constituency elections. And 54,170 votes as against Honorable Techiman South 49,825. His General Secretary, Asiedun Ketia, had a different press conference. He also gave Christopher Bailey 50,569 and Honorable Techiman South 49,874. And these are two leading figures of the NDC, giving us two different figures. How can we trust such an inconsistent leaders who want to lead this nation? Ladies and gentlemen, I wish I could show you the video recording. The NDC claims that there was no declaration by the EC. Is the video? Yeah, I don't know if you can play the video for me.
Can you give the volume?
Yeah, the returning officer. No, the returning officer is the man with the EC jacket, the blue jacket. Here he is declaring the results. And I think we can listen to
that's the NDC candidate.
that is the NDC candidate Christopher Bailey, who was trying to attack the returning officer. I don't know whether he's a boxer, but he's the man who had wanted to be the. So let's listen to the returning officer. As soon as he ended, the NDC organizer attempted to snatch the microphone from his. So if anybody says that there was no declaration, ladies and gentlemen, you have seen it. This is the evidence that the returning officer declared the results, and I think by convention, parliamentary results are declared at the constituency level. So, as I said, we have an elected member of parliament, Honorable Martin Ajay Mensah Kosa. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see the light on for me? My eyes are going. The NDC claims that we used the soldiers to overturn the results. In other words, they said that we brought a lot of soldiers there to intimidate their people. Of course, they are the national security. They have to protect national officers doing their legitimate work. But I must state that if there was any incident, and I hear 2 people died, rather unfortunate, they are our brothers, and we wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. But I think if there's anybody to be blamed, then we must blame the NDC party chairman, Nufawa, the parliamentary candidate, Beire, and that man Bin Laden guy. They were the ones who invited their people to troop to the station. In between the announcement of the results, they came out to urge their people to attack. So even as we were leaving the hall, they were rushing on us. Sadly, my MP fell. I had to lift him up, and we had to be guarded by our guys to enter a car, and we were whisked away. At this time, these guys attempted to strike at the military. Whatever happened there happened behind us because we had left. The rest, we all saw it on television. I think we have to condemn the leaders who did that. In addition, the media cannot be left out. There's a station in Techiman called Akina Radio. It's owned by one NDC financier. They kept announcing fake results right from the time that the polls ended. They kept announcing the NDC had won, the NDC had won. So they were telling people to troop to the polling center, the collation center. Sadly, even the normal convention of not campaigning the day before election was broken by this radio station. They are also to be blamed for the unfortunate incident that happened in Techiman. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to state once again that we as a party or even as our elected MP had nothing to do with the deployment of security men at the polling station on that day. My candidate only came there in the morning to greet his staff and later came there for the announcement of the results. That was all, and we left immediately after that. I want to tell the general public that Techiman is a very peaceful city to live. It's the NDC that is causing trouble there. Post that incident, we are told that they have invited some of their thugs from Abu Abo, Boko. They have all assembled in Techiman now, trying to unleash mayhem on the citizens of Techiman. I'm calling our defense ministers, our interior ministers, our national security to take note of what is happening in Techiman. 2 days ago, we had their boys shooting in the market, threatening market women, driving people away. We cannot allow this to go on unchecked. So by this, we are calling on all peace-loving Ghanaians to condemn what is happening. And I think they are taking a cue from the former president, who instead of calling them to order is urging them on to do this. I think it's uncalled for. We are peace-loving and we'll try and maintain peace. But there's a limit to what we can take. At this juncture, I want to once again congratulate the president on his re-election, and I also want to congratulate our MP-elect. I want to also reiterate that we have all the pink sheets. NPP, we have all the pink sheets. If you have time, like we were waiting for a car, I was going to display them to you. We have all the pink sheets. We have all our pink sheets. So anybody who claims that we don't have our pink sheets is lying. Because if you remember, yes, even at the collation center, when the electoral commission were looking for pink sheets, they were consulting us. Because we managed to gather all our pink sheets few hours after close of polls. As you can see, if we are to count them one by one, you see that we have all our pink sheets here. So, we want to thank you for coming, and God bless you, and God bless our home nation, Ghana. Thank you. Okay. I was your phone now, Mama Kwaba. Techiman NPP constituency, Techiman South constituency for na yabai. The my buy in and say, and this for I rajo mama da mano aye press conference. I can't be a good NPP for so. And then I say a baby yano. In some more can be say Techiman Yabobo Abano, it has such a for Beguwa, Nadi Unum and this for. Almost I can say about Tone, a 2 young collation, there can Manabuno, Yanyabu Techiman. Almost I can say a 2 abani and Kano, a letter commission, and the Edin Kudima Nadia Dincho. And almost I can say, it has such a for every year. I will cast him out Techiman. The air can say, a yen tro, the Ghana for Namuma Mungu. Cynthia Yakazan say, Baby, I not ye can abano. Aye, baby, I not Bono East region. Ye can yabaho, and now ye did all the constituents abano, ye deba. Sabiana also and now ye Techiman South constituency. Ye can, ye coalition, news them is your kind of team anyway. And indeed, said ye about to want to be a day a bambo for Kohono. Nay, he say, National Security for a bambo abaho. Namuni Namum by address by NDC for will be idea, and I will Casamo. And Timpos and yesterday, yes, I had a neighbor here said their bambo bako. Ampa answer a dear Betchino. Your radio station will teach my friend Akina FM. And this vocal now, ye did I say about only a woman winning. Yet, two about we know Sima Edom him and grandma. I know Mokwan Sankan and Sanyan company, or more now so my winning. The Mongo for in Amra, but be a Yaki Gabano. Was a vocal could do what? A one pot dump him. Did they cause honor? Would you be quite wafa? And in Tina, a bambo, you my dear Fono, and who's a big here say, O Mamma, a slap for a baho. A slap for a baho. And yet me ana me candidate na me MP ato abayi no onabo matia jemensa kosa nye no na dia sra for ko baby ye wo police for a soldier for national security for a omo yes adwuma no to omo na yes adwuma no and this was some am san kan bi oni say abano kwa yankenkan eno so ye ntro kese pa se dia ka sa ne say dan na ye kenkan abano wo mu no ye de TV kese kosi ho. Ena yadi TV kese be si abonten ti niam e koso odam ho nyina no ni page abonten na no mo hwe no so omo sha ase a na omo kinkan ndi e ba obi ade na beto TV no so na obi ehwe ye do ba bi na ndis for say ye nyai fi say omo pinches omo ehwe no ni nyina nya mai ye twen ya kosi say omo ade omo pinches ba mai to aso na kodu ba bi no return office no electoral commission for no ebe catch and say your pinch be you to be ho a omo nsanya nkan fi say omo return officer no come say presiding officers no enya mai nze betimi dia ba yen party for no ye betimi the pinch it na ba ke betimi dia to so ye adwuma no and this for say omo ni bi ho abusia for samre no na electoral commission for no e de number bi abeto figure bi abeto screen no so a na kire say yen candidate honorable Matia Jemensa Kosa edi omanim and you move some de sa pink sheet in the banner the trouser abani ya wini awie the end is for say omuni pink sheet ni bi ye tena ho fi anadwo na besi ade kye ye twen omo so omo ma electoral commission enyuso NPP for de no na ade achi na abono ndu du ba ko du mienu na ne dede kwala e koso ho nipa na odi omanim ye fa ne Bin Laden di no de amse mo amotem ye mbese mo na ne suban sa na tie Sa nipa ya no sa ko gina bi ka se ya nya collation wo so na odi mo de yanim abo ba edumi ndu ba don ko no ono asan ba se afedi o mo sa capping sheet no yete ase ma yesan e sha ase bio e de ade no to aso ekoka ba ko a na o mnim se ho no yen henso DHS eno ye ba bia ona mo matia wenne ye de ka ho a ebe se o mo ne nyina no and this for say pink sheet on o mo ni sa pink sheet no nti o ma ye mfa nka ho na letter commission so ni sa pink sheet no efi se omo officer na o de pink sheet ne ba collection center and this for kobo no ese ne nyema ni nyina and the letter commission for catch and say party for no your pink sheet and famra ye de buy asia atia for someone is a pink sheet so nya obi na tro a carbon sheet nti de o ma tro no ma tibia ma ye letter commission for no hwe hu say pink sheet na mo de ama ekran no papa na o mo de kan ho ana o mo ye bruni be kaze o mo kan sempo e kan yira bo kan say collation some tabulation no ha mo ye na ade ne de figure no ebeto figure de beto ho no na e kire yen say ye candidate honorable Matia Jemensa Kosa wa win no ebeto so na NPP ewo 49,000 aye Martin Jemensa Kosa 49,682 and this is for candidates no 49,205 and your budget so dem ho dan so we dey kakra o ma amam 40 hu bebe dey ni fiba and this is one pan in phone hu sa no omo pia abonte ko frɛ omo nkrofo no se ade na nkoye nti omo mfa bumbo enwura dem ho edu samre no electoral officer no returning officer no sorry gina say obe declare election no ampa of an microphone ena mahuno TV so yi se mo hwe of an microphone no can say to me Ghana abande no as returning officer no o gina sa to me no so no wa declare aba no mo hwe no hu obo figures ya nipa mienu yanya no can say ena mo hwe the friend na Jamina on a year returning officer no say enam tumi Ghana abande amano ogina sa tumi no so epaja yewura Matia Jemensa Kosa nsa se ono obi a wa woni Techiman South abano abusiafo abato de minim ene se ye parliamentary election a ye declare results no e wo constituency ne se amene mo kasai Techiman South your MP elect one ne honorable Martin Jemensa Kosa abasa no and this for the bumbo omo kwa abonte ko from nkrofo say omo mbrada no mu ho me aso na me ye me candidate me ne bodyguard nti me ye brebre e de ni pie me MP na ti hey ye pie no obi pie ti no ma no to fam na me san pagya no ne phones go me ni se kan ya phones no go fam na nyame adom na omo de ka besia no ho na ebo ka nipa ba yedu na ewura ka bakom fisa nkrofo no ba ya so ama omeku yen na e ka no tukoe na de eti na kire ni se video zamza mahu bi omo nkrofo no to abo atwe ayi e go ehu no TV so omo na soja fo no kokko ade omo nkrofo aka je so meko ntokwa abusafo nti awrawo se mesi Techiman ai ti se nipa wu no abi before ye nimu bibia ye candidate woni mu ho hwe eye endis impanimfo omo suba mmone ne abashe boni ene de saade ne baaye ade ntina ye ko bobo aba mokoye de se amanfo nsormra polling center collection center omo party chairman ye fa no power ena candidate ne bayire ena brand bi amese ode bin Laden omo radio station bo e fa na Kina FM omo tra ho ye de saa de nsem ko so amanfo mo ni se de abato de dede ye bakrom e betra ho ndi saa de no saa tokwa na nkom na soja fo kokko no ena ma arawo sem siye ye mabusuani nyina yakọ ye nuanom ye ma no omo ye mpese sa Techiman me a make as a maluso about prenu ho. Ntokwansi se binye se bia ye ni mema no bia ke betima kontokwa. Na so nyina ye gitum se abato de okwa ada so be woni ana so be lusu. Uwia na wa gentleman na wa je atum. Uwia NDC candidate here. Returning officer no baba ona soro ko ho a kopoja table no menim so your boxer. When I kept parliament aba no. Omo organizer na koje microphone fee return officer nsem no. Nipa omo na no omo kokon no. De bia omo bia ye ntokwa ne atete asem. Enti ye mabusu afo nyina yakọ. Mo bia betima bo na ye betra say ye ma so bia ba. Na abraho se ma me kama Ghana asa panimfo so mo ntie ni say fisa amre no. Ye se omo do omo nkrofo bifuru boko. Binim fra abo. Omo matachima ye beje. Da omo kosi embrante no ba ko. Why be choose ngo bia wa kan din bia na say hunu so ya bepini bia no. Boy be bo na nya asem ketwa. Na no de Techiman dwam unu say Ghana so nyina ye dwa kese ho ne ho. Omo di tuo na dwam na mai dwam pu mom nyina di breka ba fie. E fra MC o ma soja fo ko ho ba na o ma dwane ko. Sisi amene mo kasei. Enya ne ntia say ase dun katia na ma fra say omo nkrofo ni na ansia o Techiman ye te say azoka boys edikan ho aboabofo bi edikan ho. And this national security minister, the defense minister, Central Minister Omutia, yes, Rebio, Omama for and no so Techiman. If you say, a duba beer, on Babuya by Yentimun Yibio, Anya Kayaba no power. Ye cut to me, ye can't what dear Sabi. Yanyama. I was supposed to cut to me, ye can't what dear. Yanyama by Yaba power tea. Ye dim rasso. Tie besre na en kasance endis for de omo ye no enye fe ye wura mama wadi man so da nka ye hwese nka no obema example papa na se de wo ye no nkrofo edie e de amane na eba enenti ye beda mase na nsa na ebepon no de mesere na mase aka ne se ye boy ye wura omampani na adodanko akufo ado abaso ye mani tinkwa se Ghana fo asan to abama na o se abedin fie nan bio abama Ghana yakoyanim ye begina kwanya so na yabo ya so ye candidate asese ya gina wo ye MP for Techiman South honorable Martin Jemensa Kosa enim se obaka yura mampani ho ebeka ba no ho a Ghana ye bedi ye edamase samoba edamase pa obeza kwese sana